Khoiramzari mayambu paringnai na chathajariba information amasung entertainment na thallaba Nahie Phampak ki ngasigi tangkak asida mayambu taram na okchari. Paringnai na story kaya ama mayamda uchagani. Ahanbada NDRF ki interesting oiba pau ama.
Assam da hanjin ising ichau lakpa ogera, earthquake bu ogera, landslide ogera natraga atopa disaster ogera matam aduda mayamna khaurang na ngaiba amasung orange machugi phizol sepa mibu ubada pukning lumba haibasi atei kana amata natte madudi bharat ki oina disaster thokpada mayambu kanliba National Disaster Response Force NDRF haina su khangnariba makhoini makhoigi motodi paring amada makhoigi logo gi makhada iri Saving lives and beyond. Samna hairabada miyobagi damakta makhoina tawjaba achauba thabak thoram. Chai khuding moina pangthokliba adugum numit khalani mamangda Assam gi flood tasu miyoi amasung sasan lisingmu kambikhi. DG NDRF SN Pradhan Mahak mamangda North East ta focus tawba Ministry of Donor da JSU oibiramba Mahakna exclusive interview lowada Assam da thokliba ising ichau amasung NDRF ki thawdangi matangda sangnawa ngangki.
Among all flood affected states, Assam was the right at the beginning that we deployed. We started with about 6 teams initially, early in or late in May, around 20th May. But eventually we deployed 16 teams as per the requirement of the state government. We also deployed some teams in Arunachal Pradesh. We luckily have 2 deployments or 2 battalion formations in that area. One in Itanagar, which is called the 12th Battalion, and one in Guwahati, which is called the 1st Battalion. So between the 2 of them, they deputed 16 teams because the other teams are also in other states of the Northeast. At one point of time, that was the highest deployment till Bihar had a serious flood situation and more deployment happened there. But even now, as we speak, the teams are on standby, and we helped in the evacuation of more than 70,000 people and livestock also, and we rescued or saved 5,000 to 6,000 people who were in precarious conditions or stuck in the water. Overall, the situation has improved now, but as you said, there is a issue of recurring floods in Assam. One of the reasons is that the riverine source is actually not inside Assam but outside the country, not even in Arunachal Pradesh but outside the country, which is in China. So there is an issue there, and unless there is some international agreement, there will always be an issue. Of course, there is a possible solution by damming the rivers somewhere in Arunachal Pradesh, and that process I think is going on.
North East da earthquake ki leptana thokleba disaster makhal asi yamna khudong thiningai ni NDRF na North East ki school kaya college kaya amasung mafam kaya da mock drill pangthoki masida mayamna disaster ama thokpada karamna minimum damage ensure tabadage thodok mafam amasung disaster dagi mibu karamna kangadagi habisi ki matangda takpi tambiki adubu masina yarabra masi disaster atai haibadi cyclone ga manadri se karigino earthquake asi mangjawnana predict toba ngamdribase.
India happens to have all the five seismic zones, 1 to 5. Unfortunately, Northeast especially falls mostly under zone 5 because much of it is sub-Himalayan, and the other part is old stone mountains which are liable to crumbling and landslides. So from Sikkim eastwards, it is a very sensitive seismic zone, and it is very important that the people are primed, just like Japan. I always give the example of Japan. People are primed to expect earthquakes and primed to react in a certain way during earthquakes. That is why we carry out a lot of trainings and awareness campaigns, not only in schools but also with communities and college students. And pan-India, we have had almost 62 lakh people, citizens trained in different aspects of earthquake and other disaster response, community response.
North East maru oina ching oiba rajya singna landslide ki awawa kaya ama thingnari numit masing khangda lambi soro thingi property kaya amasung punsi kaya bu mangi karigino masigi thogdok asi North East ta hanjin thoklibase environmentalist na hairibase landslide ki maram haibadi ka hena deforestation amasung chingbu tawkhaiduna lambi sorok saba asina maram oigadra ataya topa maram di karino.
Actually, much of it is hinged on urban planning. You see, most of the capitals of states like Mizoram and Nagaland, Kohima or Aizawl are situated on the hillsides, and they are all old stone mountains. So, even the continuum of the Chota Nagpur Plateau, which goes into northeast, and the Himalayan, sub-Himalayan part, which is also part of the northern part of northeast, all these are prone to landslides, more the southern part because of loose and old stone mountains. Now, naturally, any urban area which will be the capital, it will continue expanding. Once it expands, because there is less space and you are using the mountain sides, so there is obviously deforestation of the mountain sides. The forests hold the mountains together. So obviously there is a greater chance of landslides happening because it is all loose soil and loose rocks. So this is the reason why there is a lot of fear that if there is something above 6 or 7 Richter scale in northeast areas, it can do severe damage. So I think one of the ways of handling it or looking at it is looking at stable soil on which to make urban planning. There will be, of course, it has to be a relatively better place for planning because you cannot find suddenly very stable soil anywhere in the state, maybe in Mizoram, or because it will always be hillside. But within that, whichever is relatively stable, if you can look for that, and afforestation on a very large scale, and maybe plants like bamboo also, bamboo which holds the soil together, especially the hillside soil, and not allowing erosion, making the required structural formations to not allow erosion. All this is required, but more than that, more than anything else, what is required is that any infrastructure construction, it cannot be without giving a thought. You cannot think in terms of having multi-storied buildings or complexes when the soil itself cannot hold it.
mayamna yamna nungsidaba lambi sorokta leba street dogs singisu makoi bu khambiba family numit kharani mamangda honorable prime minister Narendra Modi na man ki baat ta karamna security forces singna local indian breed sejanaduna karamna pet oina thamli habisi ki matangda sang nangangki
डॉग की डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट और रेस्क्यू मिशंस में भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका होती है। भारत में तो नेशनल डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फोर्स एनडीआरएफ ने ऐसे दर्जनों डॉग्स को स्पेशली ट्रेन किया है। कहीं भूकंप आने पर, इमारत गिरने पर, मलबे में दबे जीवित लोगों को खोज निकालने में ये डॉग्स बहुत एक्सपर्ट्स होते हैं। साथियों, मुझे यह भी बताया गया कि इंडियन ब्रीड के डॉग्स भी बहुत अच्छे होते हैं, बहुत सक्षम होते हैं। इंडियन ब्रीड्स में मुधोल हाउंड है, हिमाचली हाउंड है, ये बहुत ही अच्छी नस्लें हैं। राजपलायम, कन्नी, चिप्पी पराई और कोम्बाई भी बहुत शानदार इंडियन ब्रीड्स हैं। इनको पालने में खर्च भी काफी कम आता है और ये भारतीय माहौल में ढले भी होते हैं। अब हमारी सुरक्षा एजेंसियों ने भी इन इंडियन ब्रीड्स के डॉग्स को अपनी सुरक्षा दस्ते में शामिल कर रही है।
नेशनल डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फोर्स NDRF की लोकल की ओइबा हुई खरा ट्रेनिंग तौबगी प्रोसेस ता लेखर अमथि अथुबिदा मखोई की कैनिन फोर्स ता थमलगनी।
As we know, in the Man Ki Baat episode about a month ago, the Honorable Prime Minister of India had talked about the use of dogs and the canine squads in the paramilitary forces, and he did mention about the NDRF. In the course of that Man Ki Baat, he also expressed the wish and the desire that local breeds, the local Indian breeds, who are otherwise within brackets can be called street dogs, they are used, street breeds are used for the same purposes as we use the exotic breeds. I'm happy to report that already since 6 months, in some of our battalions, we have started training the local breeds of dogs. And the local breeds of dogs are doing exceptionally well. They are able to give all the skills and acquire all the skills that are required for a rescuer and a sniffer. Although their attention span is a little less, but we are working on that, and I am sure in the foreseeable future they will also become as effective as the mainline sniffers and rescuer breeds, which are exotic breeds. They are not only low maintenance, they also are very swift, and they are very hardy. They do not have to be inoculated time and again, and they are able to work in all weather conditions with the same effectiveness.
Konthangda Equina DZ NDRF SN Pradhanda Canine Force ki total strength hanglakhi amadi karamna local breed asi high ranked international dog breeds siga compare tori haibasu hanglakhi.
As far as the canine squad of NDRF is concerned, we have normally an authorized strength of 36 per team. So you can imagine that 36 per battalion, which is 2 per team. So that means 18 teams are there. So 18 into 2, 36 per battalion. So it is a multiple of 36 into 12 battalions. We have that strength that is authorized. But the use of the so-called Desi breeds or the Indian breeds or the street dog breeds, that is an innovation that we have attempted recently, and that is in line with the Prime Minister's vision also, that we should also look at local breeds, Indian breeds who are hardy, who are low maintenance. And we have just taken up such a experiment or innovation in the Ghaziabad battalion with about 4 to 5 local dogs. And I think the performance so far has been very satisfactory, and we are confident that we can use them operationally very soon. And in the next batch of operations, they will be actually put on field trial. And then if there are some gaps to be filled up, we'll fill it up. But we are very reasonably confident that starting 2021, you will see Desi breeds also accompanying the NDRF teams all across the country.
Bharat ki disaster thokpa mafam singda orange machugi phizol setlaba nupa kaya National Disaster Response Force NDRF kina service piri. Athubi matamda notice yauna Bharat pumbada nupi su yauragani. Hoi NDRF ki force asida nupi yauragani. Numit karani mamangda NDRF na Nahie Phampak ta training ki video share tawraki. Nupi personnel asina NDRF ta ahenba magun hapi haina DZ NDRF SN Pradhana hierarchy.
Training of the newly inducted women personnel has started in right earnest. For example, in Ghaziabad battalion, the 8th battalion, which is ITBP based, the training has already started. They have been given separate barracking quarters also, and the orientation training has started, and it will be from anywhere from 8 weeks to 12 weeks. And after the training is completed, they will be distributed, apportioned to the various teams. As we know that each battalion is made of 18 teams, so each team hopefully will have some component of women personnel, so that the gender balance is maintained and we are able to attend to some sensitive situations like women who are rescued, who are pregnant, who are unwell, who need some help, and some may require some very women specific requirement may have to be catered to. In this process, the sensitive reach and outreach of the NDRF becomes all the more effective when the women personnel are there who are specialized rescuers at the same time.
NDRF asi deputation gi force amani masigi personnel sing asi Bharat ki atopa paramilitary force sing dagi lakko ngaktani. Mahila contingent da yankhaina BSF tagi maduna trangana notice tagini. Nupi personnel humpumathoina ITBP masing taret nupi personnel amana SSB anina Northeast tagi Taranipan personnel na Assam Rifle tagi CRPF amasung CISF ki women personnel deputation taunanaba process tawri
Ngasigi tangkag asigi aikhogi medical expert AIIMS New Delhi gi Dr Anjali Hazarika ni mahakputaminasi
Malam pumbagi oina COVID-19 na naraba miyoi singbu COVID tagi phagalaklaba miyoi dugi blood plasma na lying bagi thabak asi kanna chathari Convalescent plasma transfusion chatharapasina plasma donation gi darkar bu hengalakli plasma therapy asi karino kanana donate asi tawba yai Hairiba wahang singasi All India Institute of Medical Sciences New Delhi da blood transfusion services in cardiothoracic and neurosciences center or BTS CNC department ki chief medical officer Dr Anjali Hazarika na Nahie Phampak pu meeting tabiriba singge damakta pawpu pibiki
In absence of any definitive treatment for this disease, lot of modalities are being tried out. And convalescent plasma that has been collected by a recovered patient is showing a lot of promising results. So what we do here is that plasma is collected from patients who have recovered from this disease after a gap of say 28 days when the antibodies have developed in sufficient amount. And this plasma containing the antibodies is then transfused to the patient having moderate to severe symptoms, and this helps them to fight the disease. This is still under trial, but we are having a lot of promising results, and a lot of plasma blood banks have come up in the country, starting with Delhi, and even in Assam now we have about five centers collecting convalescent plasma.
AIIMS की BTC CNC Center na leptana blood transfusion darkar taba patient singda leptana safe amadi aphaba e khomjinduna amadi process tawraga leptana piri Aikoina Dr Hazarika da safe blood se karino hangki kanana donor oigadagi khanba matamda kari karamba SOPs follow tawi amadi patient ama hekta na blood transfusion gi mangoina na kari criteria yengba tangai fadagi haina hangki
Any healthy donor between the age of 18 years to 65 can donate blood having a hemoglobin count of at least 12.5 grams. The person should not be suffering from any chronic disease, should not be taking any medications in the recent past. And right now during this pandemic, we are careful about taking contact history of the donor with any COVID patient. And those who have recovered also we ascertain that there is a gap of 28 days, and a person who has donated blood can safely donate again after 3 months.
Konthangda Honorable Prime Minister na citizen khudimakta health eye card leiragani haina announce tokibagi wafam asi yamna nungaiba amadi khorangba ohenki aikoina Dr Hazarika da masi health card asi hairiba myoy amasung doctor singda karamna kanagani haina hamki
I feel that is going to be very beneficial for the public since at present all of us know that it is very cumbersome to take care of all our medical records and to produce them whenever required. At times we have seen that people travel and there is an emergency, there could be an accident, and we cannot really expect people to remember the full medical history and to have all the documents with them at the time of any emergency. So having this digital card would help to have all the treatment history, the diagnostic reports, as well as the past history of the patient on one card. So it is supposed to be something like the Aadhaar card. It would in turn be linked to the Aadhaar card or to the person's mobile number. It is a 14-digit number, and on scanning that card, any doctor could access the complete medical history of the patient, and this would in turn help them to give proper treatment and emergency treatment to the patient.
Matang asida atinba break ama lauzage break asida aikhoigi information na thallaba magazine gi matangda mayamda uchagani ahanba wahai adudi magazine asigi maming asimakni haizariba magazine asi Imphal gi Thangal Bazar da leiba PC Gents and Company da fangbigani phone number asi su note tausinbiu 9856084649.
First Word, a complete monthly magazine of the Northeast, read by who's who of the land. Packaging news and current affairs, sports, culture, festivals, achievers, life in Metro, and lots more. Buy the magazine today from stalls across the Northeast and New Delhi at ₹50 per copy, or subscribe for 12 issues by paying ₹550 online. For details, contact 98101 29327.
Corona gi pandemic asina hotel amasung restaurant na khudong thiba kaya thengnahalli adubu naha oiribi naga entrepreneur amana Delhi da thauna phana thauna udli mahak pumiting taminasi.
Delhi ki piklaba sorok ani gi marakta lay
My friend has introduced me to Naga cuisine, and I think I'm in love with the food. So today we have tried something very authentic meal here. It's mostly like, they cook it during the festivals and all. So we had pork fried, I think. It was a pork curry and rice, some vegetables, and festival thali, and it's so amazing and it's really, really nice.
I'm from Nagaland, so today we came to this restaurant called Shiloi, and they have specifically made up this thali. It's a festive thali. We celebrate that festival in Sema community, that's Tulini. And then the food was actually served to us in banana leaves, and that was pork thali, amazingly cooked with lots and lots of vegetables and different kind of like spices from Nagaland, and it was amazing. The taste is amazing, and then I have introduced this thali to everyone, and my
We lost lots of customers. They go back to home, and these days we don't much get the customer. 3 months we lost, and we get into 20 to 25 customers nowadays, and we are doing well. Yeah, Delhi people is good for us and good for our job, and also my landlord, they reduce our rent because of coronavirus.
Pikliba Rajya Tripura na wagi biscuit amadi bamboo rice ki marketing taukhre makhataba ikhogi report.
September 18, the World Bamboo Day nimitta bamboo cookies amasung bamboo bottle launch tokra patungda Pikliba Rajya Tripura na bamboo gi rice puthokre. Masigi special over lebak machu ki cheng asi protein yam wang na yawa amati hidaki oiba magun yawa potlam yam na yawi. Cheng asi chahi kuntra manungda amuk khaptamak satpa wagi mapani amadi masi hauzik phawa haina bo oina sharp amani haini. Mizoram Rajya asida kayarak lakhiba cheng cha watpagi makhoina masi mautam hai. Tripurada hauzik sarp asi kanaba oina oikre Tripura ki CM Biplop Kumar Devna bamboo rice asi launch tauki.
তার মধ্যে মেডিসিনাল ভ্যালু অনেক বেশি। যেমন ব্যাম্বু শুটে রয়েছে, তো স্বাভাবিক ব্যাম্বু শুটে যে মেডিসিনাল ভ্যালুগুলো রয়েছে, তো বাঁশ থেকে যে ফুল, সেই ফুল থেকে যে চাউল আসছে তার মধ্যেও সেই মেডিসিনাল ভ্যালু রয়েছে। তার মধ্যে এডিশনাল একটা জিনিস কি রয়েছে, যে বিভিন্ন ব্যাক পেইন, জয়েন্ট পেইন, তার জন্য এটা অত্যন্ত লাভদায়ক। আর বাকি কোলেস্ট্রল কন্ট্রোল করা, সুগার কন্ট্রোল করা, ফ্যাট কন্ট্রোল করা, ইমিউনিটি পাওয়ার বাড়ানো, এই গুণগুলো তার মধ্যে বড় মাত্রা রয়েছে। আর প্রোটিনের মাত্রা নর্মাল চাউলে যেটা রয়েছে 6.5% কাছাকাছি, এটাতে প্রোটিনের মাত্রা 9.5% কাছাকাছি। সেটা হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে বড় দিক।
Matang asida the Bamboo and Can Development Institute of Tripura na numit kharani mamangda numit humnigi oiba pamjaba naharol gi damakta bamboo biscuit sabagi mong training tauki. Tripura Bamboo Mission na sponsor tawba training program asida naharol kuntraga mari na saruk yaki trainee singna theory class amati practical gi oiba training animak fangki. Usoidagi yam saba butter ga amadi atai atopa potlam singa totpadagi arubagi baking fawba artha leiraba isabu thabak piba khaktada pandam nate rajya asigi prakriti gi oiba resource pusizan aduna potlam semladuna rajya asigi trademark ohinba asini pandamdi.
जब से ये प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च हुआ है काफ़ी लोगों की रिक्वायरमेंट आती है कि ये कुकीज़ मिलेंगी कहाँ पर, कैसे मिलेंगी। तो अभी हमने त्रिपुरा बैम्बू मिशन की सहायता से BCDI में हमने एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम चालू करा है जो कि 3 दिन का है। और हमारे पास अभी एट प्रेजेंट 34 पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं और इनको हम ये 3 दिन में किस तरह से ये कुकीज़ बना सकते हैं और किस तरह से हमारे को बैम्बू शूट को प्रोसेस करना है, जो कि हमको नेचुरल फॉर्म में यहाँ पर मिलता है। उसको किस तरह से बॉईल करना है, किस तरह से उसका पेस्ट बनाना है, किस तरह से उसको फर्दर फोर्टिफाई करना है कुकीज़ के अंदर में। तो ये हम सारा चीज़ें प्रोसेस उनको बेकिंग का किस तरह से बेक करना है, तो ये प्रोडक्ट का हम उनको जानकारी दे रहे हैं।
Ngasigi tangkak gasigi oina masita magni miyamna pambiramgani haina thazei miyamgi mamal leiraba feedback sungsoi soidana nahiephampak@gmail.com natraga SMS 9810129327 da thabirau. Miyambu amuka na unarasi coronavirus tagi isabu ngakthok tu na thambiyu khoiramjari.